Welcome to the Books, Beards, Booze podcast, where we talk books, drink booze, and have beards.
All right. As always, I am Bob of Tales by Bob.
I'm the ass of the podcast, Derek.
I am creative consultant, Tanya.
And it's our weekly discussion episode. And this week, we have a fun topic that, if you think about it from a meta perspective, it's the dumbest possible topic we could do on a podcast.
Disagree.
Because it's
Pictures.
We've done possums.
Badgers.
Whatever.
Badgers.
So, well, we'll get to possums, I'm sure.
Well, possums doesn't begin with a P. Or B. It doesn't begin with a... It begins with an O, actually. So, yeah, it doesn't begin with a P either. I see you were about to correct me. You had that look. But it
did you
begins
just
with an O.
stroke out on us? Like, what was that?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But whatever. So,
wow.
Yeah. But, so our topic this week is our favorite book covers of all time.
This is going to take me down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. No, I'm excited by this topic. At first I was like, can we do this? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah,
Bitch,
we can do this. So
I just got to get descriptive with the words.
I can talk 30 minutes on anything.
So
plus you two.
Okay.
In here too.
I came up with my 6 favorite of all time, and then a bunch of runners up that.
Wow, excessive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Overachiever. Fucking...
Well, because my Goodreads is great. Goodreads is the best resource for this podcast.
Disagree.
For me, because
the best resource for this podcast is my mind. Thumbs up.
I used Goodreads because I was like, what have I read? Show me the covers. Scrolling.
Well, my whole thing was I was thinking about. I wasn't going to be looking like, oh, I like that one. It was like, which one stood out to me?
Oh, I
the
don't
ones
have.
that
I don't
will
remember
always
any of those
remember.
things. I just
Well,
don't have a memory.
There were
for
some that I
stuff.
just like. Some of these I had just like. I was like, oh damn, no, I can't believe I forgot that kind of deal. But all right, so who wants to start us off? I mean, since I have a ton, y'all want me to go first with one?
How many? I have.
I got like 3, but I have a whole bunch of
2,
conversation
3,
things
4.
to say.
I have 5.
Okay, well, I'll start us off. So the first one, I'm going to say The Magicians by Lev Grossman. The cover for that is really, it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in the book. If you think about it, it's really just a tree, but it's a gorgeous tree in like a misty field. It looks very, like, content-wise has nothing to do with the book, but it fits the feel of the book so well.
It sets the tone,
sets
but
the
not
tone.
really giving you any hints of what happens.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to jump in now because that's like basically my whole thing about
What you like in a book cover?
what I like in a book cover.
Okay, well, let me finish this just
Right.
real quick. I just want to say I didn't like this book.
But you like the cover.
I love...
You started
You
like the
judged
first
book
third of
by
the
your
book.
cover.
No, I was told it was Harry Potter for adults,
Oh.
but it's not.
Oh, and this is one of the books you were like, "Hey, Tanya, you should
Chronicle
read
of
this. This is
Narnia
Harry
for-
Potter for."
Well, no, because that's a different.
Different.
No, that was a different one. The one I linked the other day. That's
that I
a
screenshotted.
different one. That
Which one is that?
I can't remember. It's a KU book.
I'll
I
look it up
think.
while y'all are talking.
But it was someone pitched it. It's like it's Harry Potter for adult. And reading about it, it is very much Harry Potter, like for adults. But The Magicians is not Harry Potter for adults. It's Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for adults.
I was about to say, yeah, Chronicles of Narnia.
But I was not. That's not what I was sold.
The book that you're talking about is, was it Sylvie Asselton and the Shriek Curse?
Yes.
Never heard.
The Shrike Curse.
Alrighty then.
Harry Potter for adults
Yeah.
on KU.
So I didn't like that book.
The Magicians?
It was weird. My 6 favorite covers, half of them I didn't like.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's
All right,
good.
so Derek.
So
What just generally, what do you like about, what draws you to book covers? Like, what is your
Every one of
thing?
these book covers is pretty wildly different from the other.
Okay. Derek, do yours kind of have a...
I tend to like covers that use like a few colors and large unbroken swaths of those colors. I don't know why, but I find that very pleasing to the eye.
Me too.
I'm not usually overly fond of like the hyper detailed covers
Me
or
neither.
even books that like have even characters on them.
Same.
And the reason I thought about it when you mentioned that the way the cover of that book is because I prefer simple, solid colors, names in a good font,
Yes.
and perhaps a landscape that captures the feel of the novel without actually telling me what happens in it.
Me too.
Like, I need you to get across through the colors chosen, the font chosen, and the landscape shown, the feel of the book, and then I don't want to know anything else because I want to be surprised when I read it.
Yeah, Derek, I kind of feel like you and I would generally gravitate maybe towards the same types of covers just from that. Like, I like things to be not very detailed. I like clean, simple covers, and font choice is so huge.
So, yes, it is.
God, like, I'm a font, I don't want to say a font nerd, but I'm bougie.
Yeah. I've got the audiobook.
That is a nice cover.
I'm showing
The
them a picture
Magicians.
of
That is a nice
Magicians.
cover.
We'll post up.
Yeah,
most of
these covers will be on.
Yeah,
our
mine
Facebook, so
mine
you
go
can see
up
'em.
the day this does, and I'm going to set theirs up to drop the days after. So
Or
like
you could
Tanya's
just
go up the next
tab
day.
it all into the one thing, and
Nope, yours are going to go up. I
We're-
want to keep them. I want to keep them
Tanya,
clearly delineated. I don't want
Tanya,
them all to
we-
be lumped
don't
in
you-
together.
Don't you know we're second-class citizens?
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Well, I get to go second.
Well,
You're last.
I
so.
told y'all to send them to me, and y'all didn't send them to me in time for me to make the post.
Okay.
So I made the post.
Okay. So, yeah. So can I talk about one of mine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Yikes. All right.
Remember second-class
Second
citizens.
class citizen. All right, what you got?
Fuck me. Womp womp womp. So the Paper Magician, Glass Magician, Master Magician series by Charlie N. Holmberg. These covers, they're simple. You've got like a black and white design. It's kind of black and gray, I guess. It's like a singular color accent. These are silhouetted figures. The fonts are really nice. The series themselves are very cohesive. Because like the first book is gray and black with some red accents. The second one's blue. The third one's green. The cover is 100% why I started reading these books.
Yeah.
I didn't really like parts of these books. I kind of like spite read through them at the end.
But there were other parts that you did enjoy.
There was
about 'em.
enough of it. The magic system was a lot of fun, super neat. But like I don't like forced romances, and I definitely don't like stupid headstrong girl falls in love with brooding guy for whatever fucking reason. Like I hate it. Like, and the main character is kind of insufferable, but I really enjoyed the magic system and the world was really cool. I just don't like the two main characters that we follow. But so I mean, I'm kind of iffy on those, but the covers themselves I think are fabulous.
Choice.
See?
Oh, those are real nice.
Yeah, I showed Derek.
Yeah.
Bob, you've seen
no,
those.
I've seen them. Yeah. No, they're good. Good
Yep.
covers.
So those are probably. I don't have a favorite, but I'm just gonna.
I do have a favorite.
I don't. I just have like I like these, and I didn't really want to talk about like covers I didn't like because there's a lot of covers I don't like.
Oh yeah. Well, so next I'm gonna say the Faded Sun trilogy by C.J. Sherry. It's
Now, is this one of the books that you actually like?
no. I'm going through the ones I don't like first.
Fair. Okay.
So
Is it because those are the ones that were colored to make you not like you're grading them down because you didn't enjoy the book, and then the later ones?
No,
rated
this is
higher
probably
because
my
you-
second favorite
okay.
cover, really. But I think I was too young to read these books when I read them. Like
Right.
I kind of want to go back now and read it again because I think I would
Enjoy it more.
Yeah. But here's the cover for you guys.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I just really like it. It makes me think of Fremen and Dune and
I just realized that now. I think if I'm thinking of a book cover that if it is not on your list, I'm surprised.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. It's wildly different from anything they've talked about because
There's
it's
not a
very
whole-
much
It's got a character.
It's got characters on there.
a lot of
and-
detail.
But even then, even though this is a character with some detail in the background, and I'm not real in love with the font, there's still enough blank simpleness to it that it's not. If I saw that, I wouldn't not read it because of the cover.
Yeah.
Because there are straight up some books like Talion.
Oh,
I would not have chosen to read Talion based
Based on
entirely on the
the-
cover.
Yeah, and that's the
I
thing.
loved that book though.
Oh,
I don't
really
think,
loved it.
I think that was part of my age. Like I was young enough that cover was appealing. Because I got that book when I was like
100%.
a teen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so and also I've noticed that my tastes have somewhat changed a little bit.
Absolutely. Yep.
because like Fate of Sun Trilogy, that's an old book for me.
Yeah.
My number one is a real old book for me. Stuff like that. But then like some of my more modern books are very different from that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Derek, what's one for you?
So I only have. I had 3. One was my clear answer, but considering what we originally, actually, you know what? We'll go with that. We'll just go with that. So this is my favorite. It's Shadow of Dark Queen by Raymond E. Feist. Now, if you search for these, there's a crap ton of covers for this book.
Which is the one that you like the best?
The one I like the best is it's basically all black with Raymond E. Feist's name in red, the name of the book in yellow, and it just has the silhouette of a few figures in like this kind of grayish tone. And it's very simple, and I love it a lot. See?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do like that. Yeah,
and
you've
a
kind
lot
of got the same
But
horses.
it's weird
and
though. Like
stuff.
a lot of the Feist covers have changed very much.
They've changed.
My
They've
God.
changed a
Oh my God.
lot.
Have
yeah.
you seen the new Wheel of Time covers?
No,
the
it depends how new they are.
The ones that are not out yet, they've just started
The
announcing
anniversary
them.
editions?
Well, no, I think they're the ones that they're coming out with before the
Maybe
show.
not, then.
I think they start coming out in like October.
Hmm.
So it's basically every one of them is the same image. It's
yeah.
like the 3. What is it?
The serpent in the wheel.
Serpent in the wheel. Every one of them is the same image of the serpent in the wheel, but a different part of it. So like one book might have like the top right cover and the bottom
They all
left
together.
But I don't think they're all going to
they
connect
should.
together but like it's just like it might like this one might have the top right of that symbol in
Right.
the bottom left corner, but this one might have it more here. Like, but each one is like just it's a solid color. Like it'll be solid blue.
Oh,
this
I'm
will be solid
so
red,
for
this will be
this.
solid yellow,
Nice.
but with the same image faintly.
Hey,
and they look really
I'll
good.
buy those because
fuck
that sounds
with
like my style of cover, and
Yeah.
I don't own all those books. I only have the first 3. So
Yeah, they've released the first 6 books covers.
Nice.
So, Tor, you can go to Tor and see that. So my last book that I didn't like, but I love the cover. I got this book because of the cover. Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe. This book, it's 2 books. It's the first half of the Book of the New Sun, which is widely regarded as one of the greatest pieces of like sci-fi fantasy.
okay,
of
because it
all
sounds
time.
familiar.
It
like
does sound familiar.
Yeah, but I didn't like. Again, I think this is one I tried to read too young. I did not like it. But here's the cover.
Ooh.
It follows an executioner. This book.
That's not bad. I like how the color choice is pretty limited. You've
Yeah.
got a plain black background. It's not even plain black. You've got some texture.
Yeah.
You've got this red gash running through, but superimposed on top of that, you've got your character image. For me, there's a lot of extra small type happening here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely prefer just title and author.
Right.
Yeah.
But no,
But
I
that's
like
probably
that. I
a
mean,
Well,
that's
and all of
probably
that, all the
or
small
author of yada yada yada.
Well, all the small stuff is basically saying like, okay, this is the first
Book
half,
one of-
well,
Oh.
and it's the 2. These are the 2 books that make it.
Okay.
And it's volume 1 and 2 and they're Nebula Award winning.
So-
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. So it's a bunch of like info, but like.
That's not a bad cover at all.
Yeah, no, but I didn't like the book, and I've since gone back and like tried to read the wiki, and like I've read the wiki a couple times over the years, and I just don't think this is, but it's widely regarded as one of the greatest.
What can you pitch me on it real quick? Because it looks cool.
Well, what I loved about it was this guy.
Well, don't spoil
it takes
anything.
place far in the future.
Okay.
And this guy is an executioner, and he's like part of like the order of executioners, and they are allowed to wear a cloak that's darker than black.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and so so that's a thing.
Neat. 2 covers that I really like. Because, I mean, my first 3 were a series, and my next is a series, but Kings of the Wild and Bloody Rose.
Yeah.
Kings of the Wild was on my runners up. Really
Yeah.
like that cover.
This kind of is outside of what I
Exactly
typically
what I
like
was
for
about-
covers because there are characters and because there's detail, but I love the font choice. For the
Yeah.
titles, it's very in
Rock and
theme for the
roll.
book. Yeah, you get to see all of the main characters here. It's kind of got that band and movie promo poster kind of vibe. Definitely more detailed than I typically generally like go for, but it is kind of nice to start the story with an
Right,
image of who all your characters are, even if at the time you don't know who these people are when you first crack the book.
So I know y'all don't like the busy covers and whatnot, and like I really like book covers that as I read the book, I realize
what's going on
what's
in
going
that.
on the
Yeah.
cover. And
Yeah.
I do because it's almost like a little puzzle to unlock.
That's the
I
thing
get
that
that.
I do
I
like that.
used to like about the old Wheel of Time books was like, what scene in this book am I
Is the
looking
cover
at right
yeah
now?
yeah but no, like I mean, I definitely we've talked about Kings of the Law and Bloody Rose. Love them both. Clever, funny, heartfelt, good books.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the covers.
So my next one, I did like this. We're now into the books I like.
Okay.
The Stand. And it's this cover in particular, which if you've ever seen it,
By
it's-
Stephen King.
Yeah, by Stephen King. It's two guys. It's like a raven guy with a scythe fighting a guy all dressed in white with a sword.
Jedi guy with a sword
Jedi guy
instead.
with a sword. Yeah, and
Tatooine era Luke Skywalker.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
so this cover is my mom's book. I just remember for years I've been seeing it on the shelf, and like that just image was so cool. And that image, so I think subconsciously has fed more into my life aesthetic than pretty much anything ever. Like I remember, like I just think about that, like growing up, like when thinking about like projects, like different projects, that image constantly crops up in my head and influences a lot of what I work on.
Right. That's pretty
So,
cool.
Yeah.
So, another one that I kind of just thought of, but it's in the there's a little bit more going on in it than I normally prefer,
Right.
but Jade City. It's
You know,
literally just
I looked at that cover so much. I was like, I love the font choice of Jade City, and you've got the dark background and,
And
that
it's
popping
it's a good cover.
green.
and it's just all
Yeah.
all
good cover.
similar colors. It doesn't show you anything about what the book is, leaves it up to your imagination, but it's striking enough to get your attention.
Yeah, you've got some texture in the background. It's like a
Exactly.
city, I think.
I can't remember exactly what
It's
it
something
is,
like
but-
that. You do have some texture on that black background. I looked at that cover a lot when I was preparing for this. I'm like, I really like this cover, but I kind of figured you would talk about it, so I didn't.
I actually didn't until just now,
I
but
saw your list. I saw that we have a book in common.
Yeah, I figured you would pick it. So.
Jade War is the one that's coming out. Oh my god.
Is it in red?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes out like super soon.
Ooh, wouldn't it be so nice if the third book is
It's
in blue?
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's
Ugh,
gotta
I love it. I love it. I love it.
be. So your turn now, right?
You want me to talk about the one that we have in common?
Sure. Yeah, you can do
And
that.
then you can talk
Because that's
about
the
it
next one on my
afterwards.
list anyway.
Yeah.
So, The Narrows
God,
by
that
Travis
cover
M.
is
Riddle.
so fucking good.
It's really nice. So it's Derek. If, you have
I've
this,
got
but
it,
okay. But it's a very simple color scheme. It's not really orange monochrome. It is orange monochrome. You've got a bunch of shades of orange, but it's on a black background.
Yeah.
The art itself is really captivating. It's seemingly abstract until you read the story and you're like, oh, I see the thing.
Imagine if someone was invisible and they're in a solid black room and you had glow in the dark orange paint and you poured it on
part of them.
On part of them.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
kind
great.
of what the cover is. It's why I picked this book
Yeah.
up. The cover was definitely, I saw that book, was like, I'm
gonna read
all
this.
in.
Yeah. No, it's captivating art, really, and it just ties in so beautifully with the story, and you get some detail, I can see where you like it because it gives you that hints of the story. But for me,
Yeah.
like it's so clean and simple that I loved it, and
Yeah.
definitely love this book. Good character piece.
Once you read the story, you realize the significance of the cover. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. So that's when we had comments. So here's my number one.
Yes.
Number one all time. Y'all are gonna hate it. It's She's the Darkness. It's a Black Company novel. It's book 2 of Glittering Stone. Here it is. For those who've read it, it's got the lady and Croaker on the cover with the 2 ravens, which is hugely significant to the book. And it's them. I think this is supposed to be them outside of Dejagor. I think
It's really not bad because, okay, so I guess maybe what I don't like about really detailed covers is sometimes there's so many colors and things happening, but this cover that you have here,
there's a
it's
better image of it.
your color palette is small. You've got oranges
Right.
and yellows, you've got a little bit of brown and black.
Yeah.
Like you don't have like Talion I just
Too many
there's
colors.
It's a riot of colors.
too much going on.
So,
But this one, yeah, there's detail, and I don't like the font.
So the
but
Black
it's one of those.
Company, the original covers, some of them are amazing. Some of them are trash. The Black Company, the first
Yeah,
book
I
is
like that
that's
one.
what I
It's
was gonna
pretty
say.
good.
That's the one
Yeah,
I was
pretty
thinking
good.
of that I thought was like
No,
maybe it'll be on there.
Well,
I
so-
really
so
like
here's the thing
it.
about She's the Darkness. She's the Darkness, which is like book like
6.
depends on if you count Silver Spike. I think it's book. It's like book 8.
Is it
I
really?
think, yeah. Or it's pretty late in the series. It was the first book I bought in that series. I saw it on Amazon,
You
fell in
goofy
love with the
fuck.
cover so much. I was like, Dad, buy me this book, because he had a deal like he would buy us books.
Yeah.
That is the
And-
thing he will spend
Yeah,
the money on.
And I saw this book on Amazon. The early
The
days.
Amazon,
I mean, like
Yeah.
Amazon just
When they were
started.
only selling books.
Yeah, that's all they did. And I saw that book. I was like, Dad, get that for me. And then I got it and realized, holy shit, this is like book 8 or
Whoops.
7 or something
He was
like
like,
that.
"You did not do your."
Yeah, so I've found my favorite series of all time because of this cover,
That's
and I
awesome.
still love this cover to this day.
No, it is not a bad cover.
Yeah,
It's not.
On this, just a really quick sidebar. So I've been rereading that. It's way better
the
than
Black
I
Company?
remember.
yeah.
Yeah,
The first book,
yeah.
especially once you realize that the first book is really a collection of short stories. Basically, he wrote them
Yeah.
as separate
But-
pieces
which I
and then
liked
strung
that,
them
though.
together.
But no, just
they get a lot more cohesive as time goes by.
Yeah.
there's just we'll talk about it
Yeah,
later.
no,
but
it's-
no, so
I will suck that book's dick all day.
so was that?
I have 2 more.
Okay,
I have like my list of runners up.
Okay, well, you guys do your stuff, and then I'm gonna sidetrack. It's really hard.
Okay, cool. Another book that I really enjoyed the cover of was The Martian by Andy
That was a good
Weir.
cover.
It's not quite monochromatic, but again, the color palette very limited. You've got shades of orange with a little bit of like reds and down to blacks because you're on Mars. The font choice is fabulous. There's not much going on.
Is it Comic Sans?
No. God.
Well, if it's not a good
Oh my
font, then
gosh.
is it?
So
What about Papyrus?
Skirt.
Oh, sure.
Like before work upgraded us to Windows XP last year or so.
What?
Yeah, oh man, it's bad. So the default font for everything was Comic Sans. And so there were people who would like type out
It's the
memos.
best font.
Oh my gosh, it infuriated me so bad.
That's
But no,
amazing.
this cover for The Martian's really, really nice. It's simple, clean. You've got like just the astronaut kind of getting blown into the dust storm. And I loved the book. Like personable, relatable, believable, just the right amount of science for your sci-fi, but not so much that you're tuning out.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was a great cover.
So here's my runners up. I'm just going to kind of go through them real quick. The Trader Brew Cormorant by Seth Dickinson.
That's a nice
It's
cover.
a good cover.
That's a good
It's
cover.
just a
Broken
porcelain.
face, right?
It's a mask.
Yeah.
That was a
It's
mask.
a broken porcelain mask.
Yeah.
Or it's like a mask that's falling and breaking. Blackfish City by Sam J. Miller.
That's a good one.
Yeah, good cover. They Mostly Come Out at Night by Patrick Benedict.
I don't remember the cover for that, but
Looks like a plague doctor mask almost. It's like a raven,
Yeah.
a person wearing like a raven mask, but it's a brilliant
I don't
cover.
think I've read that yet. Because
Yeah.
what I did not go through my want to reads or
Yeah.
TBR or
That's
my
the thing.
owned and
Like,
haven't read.
There were some on there that I could have put on the list, but I haven't read them.
Yeah, like
so I didn't.
Rosewater is a great cover. I forget who it's by, but the novel Rosewater has a fabulous cover. There's some color happening, but again, it's within the same color family. The font's really fabulous, really large, like Rosewater, but it's spelled out like ROSEWATER, like the whole cover.
Yeah.
I
Have
love
you
it.
read this book?
Cersei, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good cover as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I
she didn't like.
really
She
like the
didn't
cover.
really like it.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember seeing the cover. I was like,
Yeah,
I really
no, I
like
read that.
cover.
It's good.
Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I'm currently reading it, but that's a great cover. It's like a coiling dragon on a tower and very cool, like more like Asian style dragon.
I think Poppy War has a good cover.
Poppy War does
That
have a good
one's-
cover.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then last is the Elric books. The ones with the white covers. Those are great. They're all like solid white with what color there is tend to be like splashes of red. But they're these very
I'm there for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're very
Limited color palettes. I'm all about it.
minimalist anything.
Yeah.
Is how I.
I would say that they're not like they're
Yeah, I know they're
minimalist
not
in color.
Right. And I really love minimal everything, but then I understand that in most of the context of these conversations for these books, they're not going to be minimalist. They're just minimal in color scheme. But that's what I prefer that.
Yeah.
Almost two-tone. Like if you just give me like a two-tone.
So here's one.
Or some negative space.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of detail there, but it's white background. You've got most of the art is in gold. You're really looking at just golds and red and a little bit of brown. So again, a limited color palette.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the 9th book in that series just because of how cool it looked.
Yeah.
And and all of them that match look similar.
It was a book that the cover kind of made me think I wouldn't like the book, and then I enjoyed the book a good bit. The Goblin Emperor. I didn't think I'd like it from the cover.
That cover doesn't really fit that book, I think.
I mean, it's just a picture of the city.
You know, she's working on a sequel.
I thought I heard something.
Well,
about
it's not a sequel. Apparently it's a book that follows the person investigating the explosion of the airship.
That sounds cool.
Maya it's same setting, but like Maya is apparently not going to really be in it. So people are upset, like, oh, we want more Maya, but I just want more by her in that setting.
My thing about that is like she told the story of Maya.
Yeah.
Like the story was his conquering himself and kind of like becoming who he needs to be king or whatever, emperor, and he did that. So
yeah. So what was your? You got one more.
I have one.
Yeah. What's your last?
Surprise! Ready Player One. The cover, not the movie.
Font.
Okay.
That big, just two color.
It's red and a good yellowy orange, big fat font. The font's fun, fits the movie, and the only
Makes
little
you feel
bit...
like a real American.
I've noticed that me and you really are drawn to books with orange on the cover.
Yeah. Reds and oranges. But yeah, like the colors are good. It's simple. I do like the font. There's the
Red and orange.
tiniest little nod to the story because there's like a pixel in the O of one. There's a tiny pixelated guy and he's running to a key inside the O. That's all you get for the story.
I never noticed that.
Otherwise, it's just the title and the author. I love it. Hate everything about it. No, I don't hate the book. It was disappointing on so many levels. But the cover's great.
Yeah.
I love it. But just the tiniest little nod.
I like it.
A little pixelated guy in a key.
That was not a bad cover.
No. But, yeah, that was it. That's my list.
What's the sidetrack?
So comic book covers.
Okay. Black Monday Murders wins.
Well, first of all, no. But second of all, I basically had... When you talk about book covers, I don't know how I ever not think about comic book covers. Or graphic novel covers. So, like, the first one that came to mind when I was thinking about this was... you probably won't remember this, but... I have a real big omnibus called Parker, the Martini Edition by Darwin Cook. Now, the cover itself is all, I think it's either black or like a navy blue, full color, but it comes in a decorative sleeve. So the sleeve...
Oh, that's nice.
I'm showing her the cover of Black Monday Murders.
I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Again, it's black and white, tiniest little bit of red.
Well, see, Parker is basically the slipcover is a really close up of the main character's face, but it in the style of Darwin Cook, which is very what's the word? I would say cartoony, but not cartoony. It's hard to explain.
Characterized kind of thing.
He has a very distinctive style, and the color is all like almost brushstroke colored, and it's all blacks and shades of like this greenish color.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah,
kind
I've
of
seen that.
reminds me, just on first glance, it kind of reminds me of Samurai Jack a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Just that similar kind of art style, the trees and shit in the back. It kind of reminds me of Samurai Jack.
Darwin Cook, rest in peace, he died a few years ago, had this very, and I'm blanking on the term that is usually used for it. It's like classic animation style.
Yeah.
Like, it's just amazing. And I love Darwin Cook and his... I mean,
If that was a book and not like a graphic novel comic book,
Mm-hmm.
I would be all about that life.
I mean, this whole thing is basically drawn like that,
That's nice.
and it's all about bank heists, basically, or the main character being double crossed after a bank heist and him coming back for revenge.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But other than that, the best thing, pretty much any Hellboy cover.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're all just reds, blacks, whites.
Yeah,
large.
That's like your favorite comic book art style too. That minimalism. That,
Well, Darwin Cook probably is the best, but yeah, the minimal. Yeah, especially when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to art in general, is the same way I look at my book covers. It's just large swaths of color, uninterrupted.
My favorite artist is the polar opposite of that, Ben Templesmith. His stuff is almost like Madman watercolors, kind of feel like they're just the color palette. It tends to be a darker color palette, with little flashes of splashes of color, like for like blood or whatnot. But I'll show Tanya a cover so this is his kind of.
I mean, but there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I can see why that's your jam.
Yeah, so it's weird. Like it's always like just intense. Like,
no, it's really good.
Like when you see color, it really stands out because the
rest of it is so
gritty and
gritty and dark and just.
Well, I mean, I like how the backgrounds of these pictures that you're showing me, you have texture and stuff happening in the background, but it's not overly detailed where the images feel busy.
He's the only person I've ever bought an art book of.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had to buy his art book. So, yeah, no, covers. I hope y'all enjoyed this.
I have one last thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because while y'all were talking, I thought about something. So there's a trend in what I've noticed in covers in like YA and self-help and that kind of thing, where you've got this white book with just like splash of really vibrant colors. Visually, I love them so much, but it's almost an indicator of I'm probably going to hate this book. See, this is The Sun is Also a Star is kind of an indication, an example of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch.
There's a little too much color for me.
It is so pretty, though. They're pretty. I guess I just want to say they're pretty. But, like, I have noticed a bunch of books that have that similar type of cover, where it's, like, plain white with just, like, let's paint splash a whole bunch of really pretty colors, and they're so pretty.
I'll say I've noticed a trend. So here's the thing, like I see on the fantasy subreddit a lot of people be like, whatever happened to the book covers that are like this? I love these. You never see these anymore. And then invariably what happens is a bunch of people go on there is like, have you seen this book? Have you seen this book?
Right.
Like nothing ever disappears.
No.
Like people think they do.
I love the Penguin Classic covers.
So
I do.
Yeah,
But, I mean, like, they're not my favorite, but it's just I love
There's something about them.
Yeah.
Here's something that's come around again. Especially in like steampunk subgenre, like very Victorian style covers. I really like those with
That's cool.
Like this ornate Victorian
like
cover
frame almost where it's got
and
like gilding along the edges and shit like that.
Anything
top
Sherlock
notch.
Holmes has that, but a fair bit of like Cthulhian type stuff will have that too. So those are neat.
What are your favorite covers, y'all, listener people?
Let us know. Comment.
Oh, put a picture.
Yeah,
yeah.
Post a picture
Comments on our posts with your pictures, or email them to booksbeardsbooze@gmail.com. Send us pictures of your favorite.
We want
covers.
to know.
How much does it affect your purchase of a book?
True.
Because it does me a lot.
It doesn't affect my purchase.
Whether or not you
hugely influences my borrow of a book from Kindle Unlimited. If I'm going to buy a book, I have done my due diligence. Like if I'm going to spend money on a book, I've done my due diligence on the book. The cover is more or less relevant. The cover might catch my eye and get me to pay more attention to it. But Kindle Unlimited, where I can get the book for free, if your cover is shit, I automatically assume that you have not taken the time.
Care.
That you or your taste in covers is so shit, I'm probably not going to like your book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if you think that's a good cover, me and you are probably so different that you're probably not writing a book that appeals to me. Probably.
I will say that your cover with the wolf guy on the front.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah.
That was a good cover.
Yeah. Bells made that for me.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a good cover.
So
I didn't read the book, but I bought it. I never read it.
that's fair. You can't buy it anymore. I took it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got the money for it. It doesn't matter if I read it or not.
Well, I mean, you still have your copy.
I do.
Yeah, but you cannot buy more copies.
Bob's like, I mean, you could read it. I mean,
Yeah.
You could.
I mean,
no one's stopping you.
Yeah, no.
I could just give you a review anyway.
All right. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
I could see us adding this to the 3Bs. What's the best cover of the year?
Of the year? Yeah.
Yeah, I could see this be a 3B topic.
The sleeper cover of the year, where you're like, it was kind of iffy on this cover, but boy.
Yeah. That could be a topic too later on, where we're like, what cover was shit that
was a good book.
Was a good
Yeah.
book. So
I took a gamble on this cover, and buddy, did it pay off.
Or just a really good book, and then, but man,
God,
this cover's trash.
Yeah.
What is that? I calculated my was like I did them I calculated the odds of success, but boy, am I bad at math. What is that fucking
I don't know that one.
But
God, it's this like picture of this like sparrow is like I did the math on the odds, but boy, am I bad at math.
big mood.
That's my life.
Yeah.
All right. So in the coming week, as the tiny trail of sugar ants that treks across your desk, seemingly vanishing into nowhere because this chain goes nowhere that I can see.
Portals.
I hope that the portal that they go into brings you forth tiny, tasty snacks from a alternate dimension that are the best you've ever had and fill your life with vim and vigor. And may the blessing of the beard be upon you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening to this episode of Books, Beards, Booze. Our co-hosts are Bob, Derek, and Tanya. Our producer is Bob. For more information, visit our website, booksbeardsbooze.com. Follow our social media at Tales by Bob. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. Okay, bye.